I'm super proud of what I accomplished on day 2 of summer vacation. And of course, I'm in my classroom again today. So part of the reason I came in, though, is because I'm trying to get everything that's in my brain done so that I can then turn that off so I can enjoy the rest of the summer. So I came in yesterday, I showed you my organization. Today, I started doing some things on paper. So I knew that I needed to reflect on and change many of the things that I do in my classroom regarding behavior management and classroom rules and consequences, etc. I really kind of have fine tweaked a lot of those things that I do know that they work, but anyone who has taught before COVID, through COVID, and now after COVID, you know that behavior and even just classroom behaviors in general, the way kids act is very different than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. So I'm constantly looking at, what's working, what's not working, and how can I fix that? So I have had, so these are my old worksheets that I would pass out on the first day of school. Very bland and boring, but it had, it had my rules, it had my consequences, my grading policy, etc. And to be honest, I didn't change a ton. I actually kind of went back to what I used to do, and we'll see if it ends up working next year. But I really want kids reflecting and thinking more about their behaviors and hopefully starting to understand why some of the things that they're doing are not necessarily appropriate within the classroom. So what I do want to do is I want to share what I created, because one of the really fun things is what we now have. AI creates so much for you. This wasn't necessarily, I guess it's AI. Canva, you guys are probably familiar with Canva, where I found a template and then I adjusted and changed all of these things to be mine. So now look how cute this is. We have the welcome to English class. That picture was there. I kept it. I thought it was cute because quite often I do put my hair in a bun, and now I'm wearing reading glasses on a regular basis. Anyways, my rules are there. And my consequences and some of those things. I did decide to completely change my grading policy, but I was very excited about these things. So one of the biggest things that I changed in my classroom rules is I'm going back to this process where I ask them 4 questions. Years ago, I was trained in team leadership by the Flippin' group. I no longer use that, but I am going to use the 4 question system that they had within that, where you put the kids on the spot. What are you doing? And they have to reflect and answer honestly what it is that they're doing. And I will tell you, if you choose to do this, they're going to lie. They're going to give an excuse. So you have to stand your ground and repeat it. And you continue to repeat that question until they give you the answer. And sometimes that requires some conversation. And it definitely requires that you remain calm, because if you start getting angry, they're going to also start getting angry. So you've got to remain calm through the questions and see it through. Quite often, they don't want to answer all 4 questions. And it does take away from class time. But if I can nip things in the bud in the beginning of the year, get them thinking about their behaviors, I'm super hopeful that we won't have to do this more and more. So I do want to also show you. Okay, so I'll stop sharing for just 1 second. Let me see if I can find the other file that I made today. Because sometimes you don't have the time to verbally go through those same 4 questions. And it can take a ton of time. And one of my rules you saw is, turning in homework on time or turning in assignments on time. And quite often that's the one that's broken the most. And I'm not going to really stand at everybody's desk every few moments and say, whatever it was about the homework. So I made this worksheet that you can see here, where if they're not doing what they're supposed to, I can grab the worksheet. I'm going to pile handy somewhere in the classroom or I put it on their desk, and I will ask them and say, and I may hint to them, I'm giving you this because you're unprepared. I am giving this because you didn't have your homework done. I am giving you this because you did not speak kindly to the person next to you, whatever those things might be. And then hopefully they will go through and answer appropriately. When I collect that back, and I need to make sure that I grab them because kids will slide them in their binder and try to have them not be seen. So I have to keep track of who I've given it to and make sure that I get them back. I will review them, and sometimes I ask them to do it again. I had one that wasn't quite as cute as this, where they would go through the questions, and I absolutely required that they were complete sentences because I am an English teacher and I really wanted to every moment be making sure that that was the rule, but I'm not doing that this time. I want quick answers and I want to be able to move on. So this will be the one place that I don't require that they give me correct or complete answers, but I will require that they give me honest answers. The template that I chose obviously was not actually based on this 4-question thing. Once again, I made this in Canva. It was more of a daily reflection. And I decided to keep those smiley faces because anytime a student is misbehaving, quite often it is going to be rooted from somewhere. So what is the root of that problem is what I want to be able to figure out. And I may not always know the answer, but I can sometimes find some of that in their feelings. They may be able to do something similar, that when they realize, I feel awful about not having done my homework, they might have the frowny face. And I want to remember to, be sensitive to that. If they're being a jerk to the kids around them, they may also have some of those feelings. So just letting them know that I care about how they feel a little bit through the smiley faces, or frowny faces, I should say. And I made another one for the questions that had, to whom are you speaking? So if it was that they were being disrespectful to a classmate or to a teacher or whatever, there's another worksheet with those questions, which are very similar to these. And what I'm going to try to do, it does say on my policy that once I have 2 to 3 of these worksheets collected from the same student, then I will be mailing those home. So I guess that's my goal for another day here, where I'll be creating a parent letter. I had one in the past, so I'll have to look and see if I can just adapt that letter that would go home, and then mail those off. I'm a little nervous about this because it could end up being a lot of mail at the beginning of the year. But I do find that when I mail them home, that there is some kind of a result that happens from that. The parents see, oh, hello, we found this information. If I gave it to the kids to take home to their parents, the parents would never ever see it. So that's what I did on day 2. Well, my oldest, so 19, and my youngest, 9, went to kind of babysit my nephew, who was about 8 months old, except that it turns out grandma and uncle are technically home, so I don't know how much babysitting they're doing, just more hanging out and playing with family. And then my other 2, my 16 and my 14-year-old, are hanging out at the local pool. It was a free pool day for high school and middle school students, so they're enjoying time with their friends. And it's probably almost time for me to go pick them up. So it's been a great day. I hope you're having a great day. Enjoy your summer. Bye-bye.